Market One just came out with one of their newest newsletters last week and is how to marketing internally. And I love the whole thing. Totally suggest checking it out. Shout out to Emily and Kathleen. They just put out amazing content and I love it. But the thing that stood out to me was the set four types of goals. And I wanted to break this down because we see a lot of things at CS2 where people go wrong with setting goals that kind of align to this. So first, like out the gate, and a big focus that we do is on funnel architecture, so you can get funnel metrics. And they point out to have a volume goal, but also really focus on conversion rates. And I totally agree on this. If you're only setting an MQL goal or volume goals for each of the stages, you're not really incentivizing pushing people through each stage to eventually get to revenue. So if marketers have a goal of just a volume MQL number, they're going to pull whatever levers they can to just hit that. And we see that time and time again. So giving the conversion rate goal is going to hopefully then aim for quality so you can see things progress. Just out the gate, great example there. Another thing that stood out to me was experiment goals. So one thing where we see marketers go wrong is they'll leverage the data on their past campaigns to inform their future strategy. Now, you won't see any performance on things that you haven't done before or channels you haven't invested in, or there could be a lag in time for actually seeing pipeline from new initiatives that you're doing. So I think having experimental goals beyond like pipeline, but really thinking about, anecdotally, are they working? Are people coming through self-reported attribution, say for a podcast or something? But making sure you have goals for new things that you're trying is super important. That you invest in channels that are new and not just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And then the last thing I wanted to point out was the ops and hiring goals. So operationally, I think we tell our clients that they should align their roadmap to the goals of the departments that they support. And that will then create their own goals. So I agree then having goals or OKRs for the ops team that aligns to the broader goals for each of the departments. And then that can help inform the roadmap. So what you're actually putting onto an operational roadmap to get executed should support one of those goals. And these can be long-term goals. It could even be like a year out, but I think that's super important for operations to have goals as well, which might not be easily tied to some of the other goals around campaigns, experiments, or KPIs. So I love that. And then shout out to also including non-goals. I love that part because that's kind of like a parking lot for things that you want to do or things that you can't do now, but maybe you should prioritize in the future or at least make a note of those. So I think that's a really good idea to also set some of those as you're doing your goal setting. So yeah, just my quick tips or I guess comments on that. And yeah, just love it. And shout out to Market One for just putting out great content.